It's just so typical for right-wingers to criticize everything Obama does just for the pure sake of it. They always find fault in everything he does. And, the latest example is his speech to the Muslim world. I thought, and I don't agree with all his policies. First off, I'll say that, okay? But he's one smart fella, and he understands what it takes to connect with the Muslim world. We need them as allies. If we're going to fight terrorism, if we're going to fight Muslim extremism, we need to win over the Muslim moderates. And they're by far, far more moderates than our extremists. It's like in the U.S. There are very few extreme Christians, but we're filled with moderate Christians. There's a wide gulf. We need to win the moderates. Okay, we need to win the people who are reasonable and rational, and we're not going to do it by attacking everything that moves because they're extremists in the Middle East. We understand that, but we need their help. We need their help. So first off, I think showing an understanding and appreciation for their culture is a sign of strength. I think it's a good thing. I don't think it's pandering. I think it's showing an appreciation for their culture and appreciation for the people over there. It's not pandering, right? It's being intelligent by showing you have some knowledge that you can relate to them in some way. It's a positive thing. It's not a negative thing. Pandering is if we start handing out checks, okay? But showing you understand another culture, another civilization, that you can empathize and relate to it. That's a sign of strength. Believe it or not, okay? I know that the right-wing brain just works in weird ways and thinks any sign of feelings or empathy or understanding is somehow a sign of weakness, but you're just so wrong, all right? What Obama was able to do by empathizing is he's able to show that we are not the caricature that the terrorists, that the extremists would like to portray us as, okay? We are rational human beings capable of understanding and empathizing with the Muslim world. That was one of his principal goals, and I think he succeeded brilliantly in that, okay? The other thing, his comments about Israel, I think his comments that the Jewish settlements have got to stop is long overdue. I think we've let that go for far too long, all right? Everyone who is involved in the conflict and the peace process over there knows that the only way forward is a two-state solution, and the only thing stopping a two-state solution is the Jewish settlements. Those have got to stop. The people who are doing this are right-wing extremists, Jewish right-wing extremists who cite God as being their benefactor, who has bestowed upon them all the land of Israel, okay, everything, and they are going to settle it come hell or high water, all right? They don't care what anyone else thinks or what anyone else wants. They're going to settle because it says it's theirs in their book, all right? So they have to stop. They have to stop, and Israel has to own it. They have to stop it. What do when they get evicted from their settlements? They go and they attack Palestinians, okay? It's time to take the gloves off with these people. They need to be stopped, all right, because they're the ones holding up the peace process. The same thing with terrorism and the rocket launchings from the Palestinians. They've got to own that problem. They have to stop. Their leadership has to embrace nonviolence, and they've got to stop the violence. Those two things have got to happen before there can be any progress towards a peaceful settlement between Israel and Palestine, right? And what Obama spoke was the truth, okay? It was the truth. It's the truth as we understand it. It's the only way forward. From a pragmatic sense, it was the truth. It's the only way anyone has been able to think of moving forward peacefully, all right? So I think his speech was a success, a qualified success, because, of course, success will be measured by what kind of results it generates, okay? And hopefully there'll be positive results. But it's a breath of fresh air, and I commend him for it. And I think it was a sign of strength. And it's nice to have someone intelligent with an approach to public speaking that shows he's got empathy, that he cares about his audience. It's refreshing to have someone with that level of eloquence, and that level of understanding, that level of articulation, and that level of courage to speak the truth, representing the United States again. So, thank you. That's all.